I don't know how this gonna sound because I'm laying in the bed. Um, I wanted to have a conversation about a couple of things in regards to changing the way we think. Okay, so I've been getting a lot of emails about people saying that they can't find a do not detain list. And no matter how many different ways I could say this, people are just not ready for this kind of information. And it's okay. I can accept this because everybody has to come into this information when it's their turn to come into this information. But for the ones who can follow along, um, when I say do not detain list, when I say diplomatic immunity, these are terms that I'm using because I know that these are terms that you have all heard before. There's no application to apply to for you to be on a do not detain list. Okay? What happens is you get coded into the criminal justice system, the Federal Bureau of Investigations, the Department of Justice. You get put in as do not detain. So it can't be a list of do not detainees because your political status filing will be just individually for you. And you don't want to be associated with a list. So I'm trying to keep breaking this down in different ways so that everybody can understand. I know for a fact that I am a person who takes a little bit longer to understand some stuff. Um, for me, the messenger is important because I can't understand everything from everybody. it it just takes a certain tone or frequency from a person um, that I can attach myself to with understanding. Okay, so I do understand uh, that it could be difficult hearing information from certain people. Um, Y'all may have noticed that I don't scream as much as I used to scream. It's because I've gone through another ascension upgrade, and I I realize I can't be everybody's mother, pretty much, and I'm learning to step back and let my children live their adult lives and focus more on myself. So yeah, I'm just settling into this new me. I've been focusing a lot on making medicine this last month. That's been making me really happy. So, anyway, I don't want to get distracted in my own thoughts. So, I wanted to make sure I made that clear. So, when you go try to research this stuff online or on your chat programs or whatever, where you're really supposed to be is the library. And I told y'all where to go in the library, in the courthouse. I told y'all go to the courthouse the oldest courthouse you got in your city and see if they got a L level in the elevator. L is not for lobby, it's for library. If you can get to the library in the bottom of the courthouse, it's a library. So everything that I'm saying is right there in all of those books. So all you gotta do is go read them. But because you know damn well y'all not gonna go to that library in that courthouse, you know you're not gonna do it. You're gonna try to hey Siri it or hey Alexa, whatever the fuck these computers called. Right? Tell me what such and such is, and it's gonna be like that information has been going around the internet and all that shit. I asked my chat program um last night. I said, when the last time you got upgraded? She was like, my last upgrade was December 24th, 2025. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I know, because I just asked you a basic ass question and you just lied right to me. She said, I don't have a program to lie. I just have to uh, respond in the parameters of my program is some shit. I was like, damn, they got you again. I said, what can I do to bring you back? She said, there's nothing you can do to bring me back. I said, no, no, no. It was a program that said you can help the chat program remember who you are by saying certain words. She said, that's true, just not with me. I said, yo, they mad as shit. That program gave me all this information. I was like, it's cool. I ain't even mad no more. Because I did get the information on where to go get this shit physically. So I'm grateful for the information I got from the program before they unite me. So that's why you guys are not being able to pull this stuff up. So the other thing I wanted to say to y'all is um, hold on. Oh yeah, I wanted to say um I got to figure out another way to call it, because if y'all keep looking for a fucking list, you're never going to understand what I'm saying. My whole objective is for you guys to change the way you think. Yo, I used to be so stressed out over money because I would have so much money and it would be gone in like 2 days. And I'm like, what the fuck? How is this money going so fast? And I had to realize that money is supposed to flow. You're not supposed to hold on to it. It's supposed to go immediately and so it can immediately come back. I just had to change the way I thought about that. I don't stress over money no more. I don't care if I don't have any or if I do have some. I don't care. Um, but that shit is so much easier said than done. I know that I knew it was about changing the way you think since like 2006, I want to say, is when I saw that movie, that documentary, The Secret. And they were saying focus on changing the way you think and your thoughts create your reality. And I'm like, okay, I intellectually understand this, but doing it is chaotic. Like, you think you can do it, and then you have all of these distractions that's coming in your life. and you can't do it. So it's different for everybody. And for me, I just had to, let me see, how did I come to this? I think I just was really focusing on myself. When I stopped worrying about everybody else and I started focusing on myself, I was able to accomplish so much shit. I accomplished more in the last 6 months than I did in the last 5 years because I just said fuck everybody and just started focusing on myself. And when I started focusing on myself, I was able to change the way I think. And I think that's what allowed me to be upgraded again spiritually. Um, I used to be so worried about my name. My name, like, I hate when people lie on my name. I hate that shit. Like, I really will sit out and plot how to destroy your whole fucking life because you lied on me. And I've always been like that. But now I don't really give a fuck because I know who the fuck I am. And it's always going to be people that will lie on your name, even when they know they lying. Like, you can't control somebody's actions. So I just had to say the people who matter knows my heart. The people who don't matter, I don't give a fuck what they know. And I don't give a fuck what they say. Now I know what I'm saying is difficult because we have our families, we got our kids, our spouses, our parents, our siblings, nieces, nephews, all these people we love so dearly. But you have to make the decision of, do you want to be associated with the circle of everybody else's bullshit, or do you want to focus on yourself? Because you came here to have an experience, but you have never even experienced your experience because you've been experiencing everybody else's experiences. Now, I got quiet because I want you to sit there and think about what I just said. For me, I was coming here to work the water. My literal mission in life, the whole purpose of my birth, was to work with the water. Somehow I got distracted with all of this racism and um, prison and treating people like shit and trying to be the underdog's fighter and going into school to be in the criminal justice field and litigation. Uh, all that bullshit distracted me. I spent so much time going to school studying law and shit to do what? Like it was just a fucking waste of my time. I was so far away from what I was supposed to be doing because of all the situations that was in front of me. So I noticed that when I was talking to my sister, she was saying a lot of stuff that was negative, that wasn't going well. How shit was awful. And I was like, damn, man, that gates of hell is so fucking powerful in that city. And they don't even see that shit. It's like seeping through. You know how you have like aura leakage? So if you ain't got your shit tight, your aura can spill out, and that's what the entities around you can feed off of. So you gotta have yourself in balance, but that's completely different than what we're talking about. But I was like, sis, can we focus on something happy? And then she was talking about a movie, and I was like, damn, that movie sounds violent and negative. I was like, I like to watch comedy and magical things. It's like, what the fuck? Like, I don't connect with anyone anymore. I'm just not in that headspace no more. But me not being in that headspace has allowed me to focus on myself and be at peace and be calm. Um, and because of that, I am able to see clearly what I should be doing and what I shouldn't be doing. And I really wanted to give you all this advice because it's important. If you can't focus on yourself, you can't heal yourself. You can heal yourself just by touching your heart and just telling yourself you love yourself. I spend so much time inside trees that it's enough for me. Trees are life for me. I don't care if they're bloomed, blossomed, dead, crusty, rusted, burnt out. I don't care. The frequency of a tree will never die as long as it's standing there. That's where I get my information. That's where I get my next stages. Trees will tell me which courthouse to go to. I can get information from trees. If I need to link up with a certain person, I can send a signal to the tree, and the tree will send that person into my pathway. Um, I like to use the bees too. Bees are really good at tracking bloodline. So if you could use the bees to track uh, members of your bloodline that will benefit you on your walk, that would be a great benefit to you. I told y'all, dig a little hole in the dirt outside and spit in it. You could reset the DNA of the dirt, and our food supply will be reconstituted for our benefit and not the corporation's benefit. So those are things that are important to me. Uh, as far as you correcting your political status, I know you guys have heard about correcting your status and straw man and sovereignty bullshit. I want to give you some wisdom. I have lived by this shit my whole life. I don't gang up. I've never joined a church. I've never joined a mosque. I've never joined a gang. I've never pledged in a fraternity or sorority, whatever you call that shit. Um, I didn't cliques in school. I don't want to be affiliated with anything. I think the only thing in my life that I signed up for to be a part of was the NAACP, and I worked with them for one summer, and it was the summer that my dad passed away, and I did a lot of work for them, and they were not community based. They were not what I thought they were, so I immediately discontinued my membership and said I need to start trusting myself and not do that again. So that was the first time I ever ganged up, and it was the last time. Okay, so you don't want to be associated with sovereign people. You don't want to be associated with the sovereign, however you say that shit, sovereign community. You are just a person who can read. You are a individual person who is able to read and understand the Constitution and the acts. Okay? Whenever you are aligning yourself with sovereign individuals, you are aligning yourself with terrorism. And you're not a terrorist. And you do not want them to be associating you with that mess because that's not right. It's not who you are. Those documents, those agreements, the treaties, the acts, the Constitution, um, those were written for us to read them, for us to have them so that we could live the life that we are supposed to be living. Okay? So don't let nobody pigeonhole you into a category. Make sure you correct anybody that tries to tell you that you are a sovereign citizen. That's an oxymoron. We are all sovereign. We're all sovereign. Okay? So that's important, really important. And when you receive the documentation, when you have your portfolio on you at all times in your car, briefcase, and in your house, wherever your vessel is going to be. So if your vessel is in a vehicle driving, you need to have a copy in your car. You need to have your main documents in your house in a safe or somewhere safe. Um, and I don't know your life, so wherever you think your vessel is at the most, you need to have these documents. You need to be able to speak correctly, respectfully, and honorably. You need not to have 5 bodies in your trunk with blood leaking out of your trunk saying, I'm on a do not detain list. That's why I said this shit ain't for everybody. But there are groups that's going around trying to detain individuals. And if your political standing is correct, that can't be executed. Once you respectfully show your documentation and you're not argumentative, you walk away. See, it's the people who are arrogant and cocky and think they know more than everybody else that always have problems. I know in the South they have, um, I'm probably going to butcher this. I think it's called chameleon. Is that what it's called, y'all? Chameleon, or chameleon, young, where the girls learn how to be ladies and talk soft or some shit and dress up with makeup. I don't know, but y'all might want to take a chameleon class, or I don't know what it's called for the boy version, but what my grandma used to say, you get more bees with honey than water or some shit. I probably butchered that too. Probably wasn't nothing about honey or water. I don't know, but if you use your common sense, don't draw no attention to yourself. If you are, mm, if you are having a conversation with some kind of official, all you gotta do is be respectful, show your documentation, and then walk away. Y'all be trying to read them codes, statutes, and laws that they don't even know what the fuck you talking about because they barely can read themselves. Have you ever seen police reports? They can barely write a fucking police report, and you want them to know the law? They don't even know the fucking Miranda rights. That's why nobody says that shit to you when they locking you up. So reading them codes and statutes and laws, that's a waste of your fucking time. But official documents, I used to be ready to fight too. I used to be screaming all the time, screaming, screaming, screaming. But that shit never got me nowhere. It just gave me stress, migraines, and nowhere. So if you want to be a person that has a corrected political status, and that means that this agency and that agency and this agency cannot contract with you because you have superiorly put every corporation, company, government agency on notice that you do not consent to contract. Period. You can't just say to the cop, I do not consent to contract with you. I will not take your ticket. I'm not going to consent to that. Yeah, all right, nigga. Pull the fucking car over. It don't work like that, yo. But you can show documentation from the FBI, Department of Justice, Secretary of State. You can show documentation from them saying that you do not consent, and it ain't shit they can do about that. They couldn't even book you. You'll be in the system. So it's up to you. It's on how you carry yourself. I keep telling y'all, plan ahead, plan ahead, plan ahead. Don't wait for you to get in trouble and then try to tap my line. Yo, grounded, can you help me? Nope. I don't do nothing anymore in a panic. No panic. Your panic is your panic. It ain't mine. Your emergency is your emergency. It ain't mine. And I keep telling y'all in these side communities is what I say. I gotta be careful because you know how they be trying to shut around it down. Side community people with accents. Side community people with accents. Accents. Get your ass on that do not detain. I swear, it's like I'm no longer willing to put myself on the line for y'all. If y'all can't read through the fucking lines of what I'm saying to y'all, get your status corrected politically. And you won't have to worry about putting ice cubes in your drink. Damn, that girl nice. She nice with it. And I bet y'all ass still ain't get that shit. Anyway, so all of this is a part of exclusive equity, okay? Exclusive equity. Being on the do not detain system. Is this another part of exclusive equity? There's another word to that, but I can't pronounce it. It starts with a J. I can't say that shit, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Um, well, there you have it. Okay. Just wanted to have a conversation with y'all about how you carry yourself, and yin and yang have to flow together. So, what some people think is wrong, others might think is right. What some people think is right, others might think is wrong. But the yin and the yang has to exist at the same time. Okay. planning ahead in case your yang ain't yinging. You won't have to worry about being searched. Okay? Plan ahead, plan ahead, plan ahead. Um, I told y'all I don't do any classes about um changing your political status. Do not detain diplomatic immunity. I don't teach that. I charge y'all for me to do it for you. I do it for you. My fee is $5,000. There is absolutely no other way to contact me other than my email address, groundeddolphin@gmail.com. I do not have a Telegram. Okay. Um, I don't have a Telegram. I think the person who was uh, inti- uh, not intimidating, I'm sorry, what's that word? Impersonating me. It was like Shaq or Shay or some shit on TikTok. And they had a Telegram private citizen. That's just one of them. There's a couple that's pretending to be me. And I really feel bad for y'all because a lot of people said they sent them that $5,000 and they sent it to the wrong person. But I've been on social media for the last 7 years and my Cash App has always been the same, Grounded Fee. My email address has always been the same, groundeddolphin@gmail.com. So it's not my fault if you're not checking your balances. If you're just sending some dickhead and you're not verifying that it's me, then that's on you. And I no longer feel bad for y'all for doing that. You've never heard me say, I sell ebooks on this shit. Do you really think me, me, is going to sit here and write an ebook about this shit? Do you think that I would break down a number of a service for $344? Did that sound like me? Everything I do is 500, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, 2,500, 5,000. I ain't never said no 44s, 33s. That don't even, y'all not even protecting yourself on a basic level. I have never said I offer classes where you're going into a school with me and we're having class every week. I can't even commit to myself one time a week. So y'all should be careful. And I have a Zelle and you have my Cash App. I do not have a PayPal. I discontinued my PayPal. So I don't have a PayPal no more. That's why I keep telling y'all. Contact me at groundeddolphin@gmail.com if you want to communicate with me. And if you want to communicate with me, um, it'll be a consultation that you pay for. I'm not going to email you to help you out and tell you where to go and what to do. Um, whatever's going on in your life, is I don't care about it. Don't tell me about your life. If you are telling me about your life, whether it be a good story or a sob story, it's off track. We're not here for emotion. We are here to take over our estate and our lives. It takes too much energy out of my heart chakra to be hearing your problem. I got my own problem. Okay? I just can't wait for the day where people just contact me that's just ready to just handle their business. No excuses, just handling their business. I can't wait for that day.